I see there's a lot of guys and girls like in their 20s and 30s that are talking about non-duality. They got non-duality YouTube channels, and they're doing the whole non-duality thing, doing counseling and stuff like that, and giving talks and writing books. And I think that's great because, we started this whole online non-duality thing in 1998, and we didn't know what would become of it. Some people said, well, you can't talk about non-duality. I mean, we didn't really get a lot of encouragement. But I can say now that they're another generation. I mean, a whole new generation of non-duality people are out there, and they're doing a great job from what I see. They're bringing the message across. They're doing, their own thing and everything. And I just want to point out a little bit of history because they may not realize that they're part of a non-duality movement, I guess, really is what it is, or a phenomenon that really could not occur until the internet. Because, I mean, let's face it, you've had people talking about non-duality since there were people. So you can go back thousands of years, you'd have a group of people talking about the non-dual nature of reality. Whether they use the word, some word like non-duality or not, I don't know. But let's face it, it was always going on, been going on forever. And even before the online non-duality phenomenon in 1998, you had groups of people getting together, like in restaurants and meeting here and there and talking about non-duality. So people speaking about non-duality in their own way, like independently, without circling around a guru or a sage, isn't necessarily such a new thing, except in degree. In degree, people have more freedom now. But once once non-duality met the internet, then a great phenomenon happened, and that's called the decentralization of non-duality communications, non-duality culture, whatever you want to call it, the phenomenon of non-duality, the non-duality social layer. But non-duality as a phenomenon has become decentralized. So, yeah, thousands of years ago, you might have had a group of people talking about non-duality or non-dual things, the non-dual nature of reality, but it was centralized. It was a group. And once that group became identified or would become identified, then any leadership of their community, their state, their nation, their identified regional area, once the leader found out about it, and if that leader didn't like it, for whatever his egoic reasons were, he can destroy it, he can kill everybody very, very easily. So what you had there was a centralized phenomenon of a centralized non-duality phenomenon. And that's been going on for millennia. People come together, they talk about non-duality, they might start a religion, they might start some kind of a group, tradition, and then, of course, a powerful leader comes in and kills everybody involved in it because they're offended in some way. Their precious little egos are hurt. So they kill everybody. So, because non-duality as a phenomenon has been centralized for millennia, but it wasn't until the internet that non-duality became decentralized, and that's really the key thing. That the second generation of non-duality community, you guys in your 20s, 30s, some younger, and you need to realize what's special about the world of non-duality that you live in. It's decentralized. It means it can't be destroyed. Now you have hubs of activity. You might have, I don't know, maybe you're at school and you have a non-duality club, and the principal says you got to do away with that, and then you do away with it. And but that doesn't do away with the entire world of non-duality. You can't do it. You'd have to basically stop all electricity. Even there, you're not, even if you destroyed every electrical electricity power station. By now, the non-duality phenomenon is so globally widespread that you can't kill every human being involved in it. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a couple of few leaders that will gladly try. And not hard to know who they are or who they could be. So that's what I want to talk about, really, and emphasize is that the non-duality that we started in 1998 was decentralized. So it can't be, as a teaching, as an independent teaching, it does not require a sage, a guru, a tradition, a book, or a place. This is a new phenomenon. So now when we started it, I went online in November of '97. I was looking for people to talk to non-duality about. I had this great urge to talk about non-duality, but in kind of more of an independent way, not the teachings of this one or this tradition or that tradition. And so what I wanted to do was fairly unheard of. I found a place online, and I started to chat, and 2 or 3 people joined, and a few more people joined. And suddenly we had about a dozen people that were discussing this new free, what would eventually become a decentralized non-duality. And we were all on a Kundalini Usenet group. And so the host of the Usenet group, it was a good person, fine person, named Mistress Angelique. She asked us to get our own group on non-duality because we were off topic. We were not talking about Kundalini. So none of us knew how to start groups. Just didn't know how to do it. Finally, someone did start a group. We joined it. He dismissed the group, just ended it as some kind of gesture of art or whatever. I don't know what it was. I started another group. I invited everyone to it. That was in May of '98. That group became Non-Duality Salon. It's still active, still very active. You can find it on Facebook. And we've been going for, 26 years now. So this is why I say there's another generation. When we started in '98, a lot of the people talking about non-duality now were, some were not born, some were very young, some were kids, young kids. So I do this video to just keep a record, make a record of some of the history of non-duality and of the nature of non-duality that makes it powerful. Namely, it's decentralized. That means it can't be destroyed. So the second generation's taking it over. You're going to see another generation come in. The only thing I'd like to see is I hear a lot of the people of Generation 2 are saying a lot of the stuff, we said, and our teachers have been saying. And I would love to see someone come along, and maybe they have, I might just not be aware of it. It might be right in front of my nose, actually, I really don't know. Someone come along and just do something different. It could be an artistic thing, it could be a literary thing, it could be a scientific thing. But let's see some breakthroughs. There's nothing to be afraid of. Non-duality is not going anywhere. Can't be no egoic leader can destroy it, although they want to, they will want to, once non-duality becomes too powerful. So I'd like to say, I'd like to see more new varieties of expressions of non-duality. So thanks for listening.